You're tuned in to Oilers Nation Every Day with Tyler Yaremchuk, live every weekday on the Nation Network YouTube.
We start our Friday show with a very special announcement. We finally have secured the S for the Sports Closet Studio sign. It doesn't quite match, but damn it, it's better than it was before. We are live from the Sports Closet Studio, the properly signed Sports Closet Studio. We are here to talk about a 3-game winning streak, 3 goals from Connor McDavid, and 3 reasons why we're going to beat the Calgary Flames tomorrow. Let's get into it all with the lead. There you go. Back in its rightful spot up there. The Sports Closet Studio. The Oilers go out and they beat the Chicago Blackhawks, but it was not the kind of victory, at least, that we were expecting. Welcome into Oilers Nation Every Day. We are live on the Oilers Nation Facebook, live on the Oilers Nation Twitter, and of course on the Nation Network YouTube, where I got the chat open. If you're already in there, if you're already watching, hammer that like button and give me your thoughts on the game last night. For those of you like Rusty who watched along with the stream last night as well, because we were live for the entire game right here on the Nation Network YouTube. Rusty says that was a fun stream last night. Nuge is huge. McDavid is on pace for 82 goals. God damn it, is he ever on pace for 82 goals? Connor McDavid leads the NHL in goals. He's got 6 more than that guy who wears number 34 out in Toronto. And, Connor McDavid. We're going to talk about his Rocket Richard odds or the chances or how we feel about that in just a second here. But first, let's talk about that game last night because there is a lot to get to. I actually thought the Oilers got off to a decent-ish start in that hockey game. Zach Hyman finds the back of the net first. It was also the first point of the night for Connor McDavid. And then just some defensive miscues ended up costing the Oilers a little bit, in my opinion. The Andreas Athanasiou one, part of that was bad luck, right? Hyman goes around the net. He's got a scoring chance. He throws it in front because his D-man Darnell Nurse is pinching in, and you would think, D-man pinching in, I throw the puck to the front of the net, someone's going to pick it up. No one picks it up, goes the other way. Athanasiou shows off that speed that we just saw so much of when he was an Edmonton Oiler. And he finds the back of the net there. Reese Johnson, who hadn't scored in almost a calendar year, he scores the second goal. The Oilers down 2-1 after the first period. Not good. And then in the second, just for lack of a better phrase, shit hits the fan. Connor McDavid scores early. In total, there were 4 goals in that period. Both the Oilers goals scored by Connor McDavid, but there probably should have been a 5th goal in that period. We're going to talk about the Evander Kane thing in just a second, but the officiating in general. I like this comment from, I'm not going to read your name, but SKS, did you see the Blackhawks' new alternate jerseys last night? The black and white stripes were a bold choice. And yeah, last night on the stream, the chat was fired up. I was angry. I thought the officiating was brutal in that game. In the second period, they called, 10, 11, 12 penalties in that period? Against the Oilers, like the ones early on, the Jack Campbell one, I didn't have a problem. He shot it over the glass. That's whatever. Marcus Niemelainen's interference. Yeah, probably interference. The Evander Kane double minor for cross-checking on Connor Murphy it was cross-checking. Murphy engaged first, just wasn't as strong as Evander Kane, so couldn't knock him down. Also, Murphy probably dove a little bit on that play as well. But then Murphy got his licks in on Kane. So if you're going to give Kane 4, I think you had to give Murphy 2. That was brutal. In the moment, I thought that was brutal. The Hawks end up getting 3 straight penalties called against them. But the thing that drove me nuts is 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 37 seconds after they double up Evander Kane for the cross-check on Murphy, Jake McCabe slashes Tyson Barrie. Hard. Barrie goes back at McCabe. The same way Murphy went back at Evander Kane. Murphy didn't get a penalty. Barrie gets a penalty for going back at McCabe. It was just, there was no consistency whatsoever in the way that game was being called. There was a brutal interference penalty that they missed right before that as well. In between those 2 penalties, the Hawks very well could have had 4 straight penalties. It was just maddening to see how few calls or how inconsistent the officiating was. Because again, that's fine. If you want to give 4 to Evander Kane, even though you barely ever see that in the NHL where a guy gets a double minor for cross-checking, if you're going to do that and not give anything to Murphy for the retaliation, you can't give Barrie a penalty 2.5 minutes later for kind of the same thing. So I thought that was ridiculous. The Holloway hook was embarrassingly soft. He touched his stick twice, I think, and then Domi fumbled the puck into the corner. That was a brutal call. And then there was the Evander Kane unsportsmanlike, which, I mean, that's probably on Evander Kane. He needs to cool down. He needs to keep his mouth shut and not bring that to the point where the refs call a penalty on you. That's also probably a little bit of a reputation call on Kane, but he's fired up because his goal got waved off. And let's take a look into that play now. I see we got the replay all queued up. Listen, I talked to Mike McKenna today on Daily Faceoff Live. Mike McKenna, card-carrying member of the goaltending union, was an NHL goalie for a handful of years, played professional hockey. He thinks this goal should have counted. The call initially on the ice, as you can see, is a goal. The refs then huddle up and decide that they're going to change the call on the ice, which that happens every once in a while. That's not like the most insane thing ever. I understand it. You know, the ref gets the opinion of the other three officials. They go, yeah, okay, this is what I saw, this is what I saw. Okay, call on the ice is now no goal. Oilers challenge, it gets waved off. The NHL released an explanation today, and I will find that for you here at just the window closed. Here's the NHL's official explanation from their website. After originally signaling a goal, the on-ice officials huddled and changed their call to no goal. Again, that happens, that's fine. Video review supported the call on the ice that the actions of Evander Kane impaired the ability of Chicago goaltender Alex Stalock to play his position. The decision was made in accordance to Rule 69.1, which states, goals should be disallowed only if an attacking player, either by his positioning or by contact, impairs the goalkeeper's ability to move freely within his crease or defend his goal. So my problem with this is, one, did he really impede Stalock's ability to play the position? Because Stalock makes a save and then makes an attempt on the rebound that Kane scores on. Okay? He had a chance to make the save. He made a save 2 seconds earlier, so if he couldn't play his position, how does that work? Also, if the rule is going to be goals should be disallowed only if an attacking player, either by his positioning or by contact, impairs the goalkeeper's ability to move freely, Jones pushed him in. There's an overhead angle that they showed on the broadcast where Kane his 2 feet are firmly outside of the blue paint. Firmly at it's close, but it's not that close. Like, you can't make an argument he was in the crease. And Jones pushes him in that direction. Did Kane maybe fall a little easily and fall a little hard? Sure. Did Stalock sell that? Absolutely. There was sell jobs going on both sides there. And again, I see Rusty. Did it impair Stalock? I don't think so. Like, if the shot right there, if that would have gone in, okay, sure. But he gets up. He's slow to get up. He gets up. And my problem with the rule being by positioning or by contact is, if a guy's going to get a grade A scoring chance and you're Darnell Nurse tomorrow against Calgary, and Huberdeau is wide open on the far side of the net, and you got Elias Lindholm in front, just bury him into your goalie. Just knock him into your goalie. No goals will count for the next 12 seconds. There's the loophole. You're killing a penalty, just shove guys into your goalie, and goals won't count. It's ridiculous. So whatever. If by the book that's the right call, fine, you live with it. The Oilers won anyways. They didn't cover the puck line. That was annoying. Oilers won anyways. Didn't cost them the game. Whatever. It cost Evander Kane 1 goal, and it ended up costing the Oilers a delay game penalty and the unsportsmanlike, so it cost them 4 minutes in power play time as well. But if that's going to be the rule, you got to change it. Like, I just don't see how that makes any sense whatsoever. If defensemen, if the rule says by contact, to me, I'm reading that as contact from someone else, from the other team. You can just knock guys into your net all the time. Who cares? Goals won't count. Ridiculous. I didn't love it, but I did love the way the Oilers kind of battled through that. They put up 38 shots on the Blackhawks. Stalock, to his credit, was very good. And then Jonathan Toews, I mean, he kind of opened the door for the Oilers there at the end. He took a penalty late in the third period. He made a turnover, and I joked on the stream last night that maybe Jonathan Toews is sitting there, big brain play, you know? He's like, hey, I'm going to be an Oiler at the deadline. I know the boys need these 2 points. Maybe we just, yeah, here you go, Yamo. Maybe he was lining up for that last faceoff with Draisaitl and was like, buddy, just win it to the side, all right? These are a big 2 points if we're going to catch Calgary. Draisaitl was like, what? Anyways, Oilers get the dub. It's on to Calgary now, like Rusty says. See, we got a poll up if people want more watch-alongs. Well, 91% said yes. We'll definitely do one in November. I'll try to do one like one every 3-4 weeks because that was a lot of fun. We had a good time. It is Friday on Oilers Nation Everyday. And you know what that means? When it's Friday, our boy Baggedmilk stops by. Let's bring him in now. I see he's ready to go. Let's get to the bro down.
It's Friday, so you know what that means? It's time for the bro down with Baggedmilk.
BM, welcome into the show. I think you heard my rant there. What'd you make of the Kane call?
I heard your rant. I heard the explanation from the league. I've read it myself. None of it makes sense. None of it.
Yeah.
Evander Kane, that goal, you know why that goal was called back? And I don't care if this is tinfoil hat shit or not. It's because it's Evander Kane. If that was Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, if that was Leon Draisaitl, if that's Zach Hyman, that goal counts. But because of Evander Kane's reputation, I personally believe that's why that goal was called off, because the explanation makes zero sense at all. Jones pushed him into the crease. Like you said, did he take his sweet time getting off Stalock? Maybe a little bit. But everybody does that. How many times around the NHL have we seen this exact play or a variation of it come back as a good goal because it's not deemed interference because the defenseman pushed him in there? Again, Jones pushed him in. There's time for Stalock to get up. He makes a save. It's not Kane's fault he can't hang on to the rebound. It's not Kane's fault it was just sitting there outside the crease, the puck that is, for him to knock into the empty net. It's just a ridiculous call by the NHL. Again, for a league that is just gagging for offense over the last handful of years, the amount of goals they call back for just nonsense is completely ridiculous. I'm still mad about this, Tyler, regardless of the fact that the Oilers won last night, because it's dumb. This exact play could come at a more meaningful time in the season. And if this is how it's going to be called with such inconsistency, it's just, what is the point of this? Even having Woodcroft challenge it, rightfully so, to have that called back, and then you get a penalty against you for making what I believe was a smart challenge, it doesn't make any sense. The NHL doesn't even pay attention to its own rules. They're basically suggestions, and it's very annoying. It's annoying.
All right, our blood pressure is getting high, so let's talk about some positives from last night. It's the year of the Nuge. I think that's been decided now. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's on pace for, he's got 5 goals in 8 games. I'm not going to do the math, but I think that's like a 55-goal pace. I mean, you must just be thrilled watching this guy not just score goals, but he's scoring big goal after big goal after big goal after big goal.
Big goals, key moments in the game, and anybody who says, oh, well, Nuge can only do it this time or that time. Well, he's got points. He's got points at even strength. He's got points on the power play. What else do you need the guy to do? He's got 11 points in 8 games, one of the best starts of his career, and he looks really good. He looks confident. He's snapping the puck around. I'm hitting the over 2.5 shots prop from our friends at Betway on Nuge all the time because he just looks like he wants to shoot. He's not like last year. I don't know if you noticed this as much now that he's on a heater, Tyler, but like last year, he would get the puck in a spot where we probably want him to shoot, and he would always look past. This year, he's not doing that. He's playing with Connor right now, and he has to be a trigger man, and he is taking advantage, and I love it. I'm super pumped for the guy. The city loves him, and I'm just happy to see him being rewarded for some really strong play early on.
Yeah, it's I mean, he's one of those guys where, like, you know, you watch McDavid do his thing and you're like, that's amazing. You watch Draisaitl do his thing, you're like, oh, we're so lucky. But when Nuge gets rolling like this, it warms your heart because, again, there's just so many reasons for this fan base to be emotionally connected to this guy. He's the first Oiler, in all likelihood, who's going to go wire to wire, spend his entire career here in Edmonton. He's going to probably set the record for career games played by an Edmonton Oiler as well. Like, He's a lifetime Oiler, and you can't say that about really anyone in this franchise's history of substance. So seeing him have this year, I want to ask you this. You know, we're talking, you know, he's on pace for this and this and this, 100 points, 55 goals, whatever. What's your realistic expectation? Like, if you had to make a prediction right now, how many goals, how many points does he finish the year with?
I think probably just realistically, he's probably going to fall somewhere around the 25 goal mark if he